beat you. November the 5th launched a new game in the iTunes Store. It's called Milk vs. Cats, and it comes out of Canada. It actually comes out of the good folks in Alberta at the Alberta Milk Marketing Board. I've got online with me Melinda Falkenberg-Poetz, and I've also got Jesse Spink. Melinda is with the marketing board, and Jesse is a developer based in Vancouver who developed the game. And first of all, I have to ask you, Melinda, why did the Alberta milk marketing people think that a mobility game was the way to help people drink more milk?
Well, we're in partnership not just with Alberta Milk, but with Sask Milk and Manitoba Milk. So through the Prairie Milk Marketing Partnership, we decided to develop a game that was fun and interactive. Basically, our target is youth. So we wanted to be where they are. And we wanted to develop something that was fun and active. And what better way to do it but to have a game?
So the whole idea is just get them thinking about milk by developing a game around
right,
it.
To engage them with the brand, with the milk product. And so that was the idea around it. And we wanted to do something that was a little bit different and surprising.
Well, it is. The game itself. I'll put up some video of the game on our site, but it's you basically go running around with a glass of milk in front of you that cats keep trying to knock over. So you have these mischievous cats, and it's fun. I didn't do too well. I spilt it. I got 0 points my very first effort. And then I got up to like 900 points. I didn't do too well. So you folks looked around and you brought in the people at Ayogo, and that's you, Jesse. So what is your company specialize in?
Ayogo, yeah. So at Ayogo, we're making games for health and wellness, games and applications that promote healthy behavior in the users. So that's our specialty. And that's a growing kind of a growing genre. I mean, I guess the monster in that one right now is that zombie game. You guys didn't do that one, did you? No, we've been working on several games that are about to get released very, very shortly. But sort of our most noteworthy one was one called Health Seeker that we released on Facebook a couple years ago. We have a couple sort of exciting games that are about to launch in the next couple weeks as well.
Must be fascinating working in the whole Facebook and mobility space and the challenges that are in there. But what were the challenges coming up with a game around milk for you guys?
Well, yeah, I should give some definite due credit to Dare, who is also a partner in this kind of trifecta partnership between Prairie Milk Marketing Partnership, Dare, their agency of record, and ourselves, Ayogo, as the software developers. So they really came to us with this vision and this idea that they had fleshed out with the Prairie Milk Marketing Partnership, with the idea of having a couple of gameplay modes, one that kids could engage in and play with wherever they are, be it on the school bus or at home. But the part that really got us excited was the active mode, where we use augmented reality to get the kids up and active, and actually use satellite measurement to see how far the distance the child's traveled. So, I think the brainchild was born out of Dare's work with the Prairie Milk Marketing Partnership, and we stepped in to lend our expertise in game design and software development in the space.
And in that augmented reality mode, basically you use the forward-facing camera to allow them to work in real space as they try and balance that glass of milk before the cats come and try and knock it over.
That's
right?
it. That's exactly right. So the two play modes, the casual mode, you're balancing the glass and walking through a virtual environment, trying to keep a glass upright before the cats and flying cookies knock it over, or the super straw sucks the milk out of your glass. And then in the active mode, you use that augmented reality, like you mentioned, of the front-facing camera, and you physically walk through the physical world. So imagine walking through the school field, or down your street or sidewalk at home, having the cats jump out of the bushes around you.
Now, Melinda, you folks are releasing, it's kind of an interesting marketing proposition. You're releasing and promoting a game that you're releasing to the world in general when you really have a very small constituency of the prairie provinces. How do you guys measure success? What does success look like for you in a project like this?
Well, it was certainly, if we could geo-target, that'd be great. But success for us looks like, that youth are engaging with the brand, regardless of where they're from, because we think our message is very strong. Our message is about perseverance and ambition. So, if others, and I know that through testing that other targets have tested it, younger people and perhaps older people, and
Like me.
and me, I certainly had my nemesis is the Siamese cat. So we think that it appeals to all, although our target is there, but we understand with a game it can go anywhere, and our hope is that it does go across Canada, and that just not youth are playing it, because it does bring everybody closer to the brand.
And it'll get you some props from all the people in Ontario and Quebec and BC, I imagine, if you're successful.
Yeah, and we have a good partnership with all those folks too.
And now, Jesse, what about you folks? What are you looking for? What does success look like as far as the game developer of a product like this?
First and foremost, we kind of always measure success with the end user. So to Melinda's point is if kids are engaging with it and having fun and it's meeting the needs of the PMMP. For us, then we really look at the end user needs. Has to be fun, and
PMMP
also
is the Prairie Milk Marketing
that's correct.
Partnership, right? Okay.
And also
Good.
that it's getting them active. So we would measure success in the metrics of how active the kids are and how far the distances they're traveling and just seeing that we are able to influence children's behavior positively and hopefully, even though it's through a screen, get them away from screens in some respect and get them out and active in the real world. I think that's something that's really powerful with games.
And a big part of this game, as well as the social media sharing, where you're comparing your scores with others on Facebook and that sort of stuff. Do you think that that's going to be a real important metric to see it popping up on Facebook and becoming an item?
Yeah,
there?
absolutely. Those social share mechanics are something we design into a lot of our games because the power of social influence and wanting to be on the top of the leaderboard is a pretty compelling reason to get outside and try and walk across the field, or like I say, just try and better your friends' scores. If you see your friends or other people up on the leaderboard, it's a compelling reason to get outside and get more active.
Okay, now the most important question. Melinda, what's your best score?
Oh, I think 1600 on casual mode. When I was on active mode, I absolutely crashed into things as I walked around. So
did you walk into something? That's bad.
Yeah, it's important to clear your path, but I had lots of fun.
Kids bounce a little better than adults do, as far as that goes. We have a new kitten in our house right now, and I see its personality traits. I think your cats are fairly realistic. It sits there up on top of tables and knocks things down that the dog isn't allowed to get, so that to watch the dog play with things that it's not supposed to get. I think it does it just to get the dog in trouble, actually. So. What about you, Jesse? What's your best score? Or do you know all the cheat codes?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I racked up my highest score during testing before the game was live. It was in the live mode, making sure that everything was registering with the satellites outside, that the active mode was as viable as we had aimed for it to be. And I can't recall the score, but I know it was down the back alley of our office, up around the block, and almost back. So almost, I guess, one city block, perhaps.
So did you get props?
Pretty
did
good.
You get props from the? Did you get props from the rest of the development team?
Yeah, not so much. They had their hair straight back in development, so it was making sure that the game was going to be ready for these guys to launch yesterday.
Now it's available in the Apple iTunes Store. Is iOS the only version that's available?
Yeah, currently it is, but technologically, we always aim to use technologies that port quite rapidly over to Android. And sometimes we start in Android as kind of a test market with certain games, see how the games are doing, and bring it quite quickly over to iOS. So the technology we used to develop the game was Unity, and that ports quite easily to both platforms, which is a great advantage.
So we should expect to see it in Android for all of our Android users at some point in the not too distant future in the Google Play Store.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I know, in our offices we're about 50-50, and people are always grumbling when they have to use the iOS devices to test our games.
Oh, that's just too bad. It's just too darn bad, isn't it? So the game is called Milk versus Cats, available at the iTunes Store. We'll have links to your websites on our site. I need to thank Melinda Falkenberg-Poetz and Jesse Spink. Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thanks very much.